What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Thanks again for stopping by. So today we've got another video. We're talking about AI, as Panda would call it, but more specifically rental rigs in particular. So as many of you know, my subscribers, I've built myself a 5090 7950X rental rig, and I've been looking for something to do with it, right? We've tried Salad, we've tried Claw, and there's huge issues with both of those programs or applications, whatever you want to call them. You know, Salad is just terrible, in my opinion, terrible. I did a poll a little while ago on my channel, and over 50% of the people who responded said they're experiencing 1, 2, 3 or more crashes a day. I found the same thing as well. If you're lucky enough to have a rig that you just install Windows, turn on, great, but I don't think that's the majority of people, so I wasted a lot of time with that. We tried Claw. Claw was good, but one of the other issues with Claw and Salad is that they're so overpopulated. There's so many different cards online there. It's really hard when you first start to build up that trust score and to actually get rented. So today we're looking at a different rental platform that some of you may have heard of called OctaSpace. And let me tell you, it is unbelievable. My 5090 rig is getting rented out for $16 a day US right now for only a couple of dollars. So it's going absolutely gangbusters. Really pleased with it. And today I'm going to take you through exactly how that is all working, show you the profits. We'll go through what OctaSpace is, show you the requirements, because maybe you guys can jump onto this as well. I'm not one of those people who feels like they've got to gatekeep any profitability. We like to share the numbers with everyone so you guys can make a little bit of cash as well. So first up, let's go through the build again, show you guys who haven't seen it exactly what parts are involved, why I picked those parts, and then we'll jump onto OctaSpace and get straight into it. Let's go. All right, so to start us off, we've got 1 terabyte of crucial M.2 SSD. And this is a pretty good write speed. It's all we need for the moment. And we're on a Prime B650M-A Wi-Fi 2 motherboard. The only thing we needed out of this motherboard was the capacity for 128 gigabytes, which we have got. Moving on, let's get this CPU in place, the 7950X. 16 cores, 32 threads. This thing's an absolute beast as far as user end CPUs is concerned, and it's going to be plenty for what we need when it comes to high performance on some of these AI projects. Also going to be really good, you know, for just general CPU mining, if that's something that we wanted to do with this CPU as well. So really good to have options there with both of them. Here we have just our little mounts. This is going to be for our fan. These just stick to the board, and we have a couple of brackets, as you can see, that just fix down there pretty easy. These are just to support the cooler itself, which we'll have coming up in just a second. One in place. Let's get that second one done. Nice and tight. And now we'll start to mount this cooler. This is the Thermalright Assassin Spirit 120V2 Plus. So it's a dual fan CPU cooler, really high CFM, and it's great for these 7950Xs, which have high wattage. I've got about 7 or 8 of these coolers on my different rigs, and they've never given me any problems whatsoever. Kept everything super cool, which is great. Chucking on these fans now. They've got these little springs which basically hook onto the fan and then hook onto the heatsink, as we can see right here. So this fan is going to be blowing towards me. I'm pushing the air away, and this fan right here is going to be pushing the air through that heatsink and being pulled out the other end to keep it nice and cool. So we just plug that into the CPU power there. Good to go. Our RAM next up, this is Corsair Vengeance 6000 megahertz RAM, DDR5 of course. Now, the only thing about this is that it's not 128 gigabytes, but for what we're doing, we probably won't need it right now. 64 should be fine, especially for programs like Salad, but as we get into the higher end sort of AI tasks, that's when we might need more, hence the ability to upgrade with this motherboard. Of course, a power supply, we've gone 1000 watts. I've actually tested this rig. The whole thing pulls about 680 at full power, so good to have a 1000 watt power supply and stay up high. You want to use a good percentage of your power supplies to get that efficiency right up, which we are doing. Now, of course, the 5090. Look at the size of this thing. An absolute monster. It's twice the size as the frame. Width-wise, it's as long as it. Crazy, crazy large GPU. But let's get this thing slotted in, because let me tell you, it as you can see, takes up most of the frame right there. An absolute beast. I'm super excited to have this GPU, and I can't wait to get it all testing and you know, see what we can really do with it all. This right here is just a special power adapter that it comes with. It's a 4-pin. I've made sure that I allow with this power supply to have a dedicated cable to each. Now, you could potentially split one of these power cables, but because I can provide 4 full power cables, let's just do that and get the rest of this board powered up at the same time. Got our CPU 24-pin going in. Next, these are our 8 pins CPU. This has a 4, sorry, and a 2 that needs to go into it. So that's plugged in. Getting all of the rest of these power cables plugged in now. Make sure we've got everything done properly, and turn it on. Boom. And we're up and mining. You see, I've done a bit of cable management as well. So next up, let's jump onto the PC and see how this all mines. Let's get into it. All right, so let's first up talk about what Octaspace is and what it does. A few of you might have heard of the currency, the crypto coin before, but it is actually a tech and rental platform as well. Often with a lot of these companies, all people know is the coin, but there's a big utility behind it. And Octaspace, I think, has a great utility and is seriously undervalued right now. So as we can see, it's basically distributed computing, right? It's rentals, it's for things like rendering, it's for things like people mining on your cards, it's a VPN service, all sorts of different things. People can also run their own custom images on it. But if you're going to allow that, make sure you install firewalls and things like that. That's exactly what we've done just to keep ourselves safe. This basically means that you're only opening the ports for Octaspace. You're not allowing anyone else to get in to your network. So really clean looking layout on this website as well. As we said, rendering. Oh, I didn't even see any of this. Projects rendered for Coca-Cola. We like that. BMW Motorrad. Okay, I don't know. That's got the BMW logo on it. Anyway, moving on. We're distracted. It also has a marketplace, right? So this is where you're going to put your GPUs on. And in the intro, we discussed the fact that, you know, places like Salad and others are just completely inundated and overrun. But Octaspace Marketplace, a little bit different. So, you know, if we look at the 4090s, for instance, here that are being rented out, there's only one page of scrolling to go here. There's probably 50 of them. And look at the numbers that some of these people are renting them out for. 45 cents, right? Now, twice as much as you'll make on Salad. This person down at 27 cents, really good. The other thing that I like about Octaspace is the network, the internet speed is not necessarily the most important thing. Everyone can generally get great download, but you know, the upload is pretty average. My upload is the same. I get about 900 down and about 50 up, and I haven't had a single issue with getting this rig rented. Possibly because I'm on a 5090 as well, and if you look on here, there's only what, 368 of these available on Octaspace, so the demand is definitely a lot higher with the supply being lower, which is what's working out really good for me at the moment. My rig's been online for 2 days and it's been rented out constantly. I've also put a 3090 on there. We can see it here, not rented out, but it has been getting jobs on and off. And as you can see, the demand again is quite low. And for 20 cents an hour, it's still much better than Salad. I was getting no jobs anyway on Salad. If I did, it would crash. So this has been really, really, really good. I'm absolutely loving it so far. So let's go look at the rig and see what that's actually doing and how much it's actually making. Over here in the OctaSpace Cube. Now this is an app or a portal where you can monitor all of your rigs. We can see we've got our 3090 here, currently idle, but also we've got our 5090 right here. Look at that, 16 bucks a day. $16 a day we've made off this in the last 24 hours. And it's still on a job, which we'll look at in a second, that is using like 200 watts of power. So let's hope this continues. Now, as far as setting this all up, I will leave some links down below. It has its own installation in it, but I will warn you, it's not as straightforward as setting up Salad. Like anything with Linux, often when you enter the commands in, they don't necessarily work, but ChatGPT is your friend. And if you have any issues, screenshot stuff, put it in ChatGPT, tell it what you want it to do. That's exactly what I did. I'm no tech savant with Linux especially. So this was really, really easy to set up. So let's jump on into our 5090 and have a bit of a look what's going on. So as we can see, it's set up on Hive OS. So that makes it really easy. So you can just flash a version of Hive OS with Balena Etcher, SSH into your rig, and then start following the commands and doing all that sort of stuff. It's not the world's hardest setup, but like I said, it's not something that you can just download like you can with Salad on Windows. It will take a little more work. So if you are going to set something like this up, give yourself a little bit of time. So our uptime is 6.7% for 2 days. So I presume it's, 3.5% a day or something like that. When you first log in, what it will do is it will do this verification and it will run its own benchmarks, right? So it's just checking that everything is working. It will run your GPU and your CPU, your RAM and your SSD at full speed to see exactly what it can do. So when people try and rent this rig out, they can actually get a bit of an idea of what they can expect to get out of it. So right now, someone is mining, I think. We'll have a look at that in a sec, on my CPU. So we had a GPU job for a little while there, but it's now dropped off. So we can see we're using 0% of this 5090, which is fantastic because it means we're using 0 power. This is just for this job though. Most of the other jobs have been, at that full power of the GPU, but in fact, not even full power. I think it was running 250 watts or something like that when someone was mining with it, and that's with no overclocks whatsoever. So this thing's just printing money right now. Like, I'm not even joking. This is easily the most profitable thing I've done with crypto mining in a long time. This one 5090 7950X rig is making more than my home Dogecoin miners, making more than my Casper miners put together. Not making more than my S21 XP though, but that thing's just an absolute beast. So some of the different options, you can see we've got our port range here. Now this is what we've enabled. So to my understanding, it just means that, when people are renting this rig, we can only operate within those sort of ranges. And this is the ranges that I've set the firewall up at. We've got options here: rental, VPN, and rendering. Now I have clicked off allow to run custom images. Just because I'm new to this at the moment, I don't necessarily want people to be running whatever they can on it. So we're sticking with this sort of stuff for now, and so far so good. You can also set your rental price down here. We're at 50 cents an hour, which is what, $12 a day, but this seems to be making a lot more than that right now, which is fantastic. I might even up this after that rental is over, just to sort of see if I can be greedy and make as much money as possible out of it. So moving on over here to the right, we've got our sessions. So you can see we can also click active sessions. This is the one that's running right now, using pretty much no upload or download. So with Octaspace, I haven't seen any of these jobs where people have been, using my full bandwidth, which is fantastic. And all sorts of different rentals. It still blows my mind that some of these people and you don't rent this out at 50 cents an hour. So, you know, this job, only a short one. Someone was mining Qubit coin. They're paying me 50 cents an hour to mine Qubit coin on my GPU. I don't understand why people are doing that, but I will take the money. Please keep renting it out. I'd be more than happy to charge it out to you. So we'll keep doing it for now. We've got render jobs that have gone up as well, quite short ones. This is Blender. So I'm not sure if this is the specific Octaspace renderer. I think it might be, or it might just be a different render program, because it was running Blender when I first loaded up the node. So I think that's a bit of a benchmark test. I think they might have just done this to see how it was working, and then and more rentals as we go along here. So again, Qubit coin miner. Someone's using the GPU there. You know, another one up here, SRB miner using the GPU or the CPU, getting paid out as well. I think I had another one down here somewhere. Not sure exactly what this one is. Some sort of image, web UI, latest Olama. Sure, you can do that for 2 hours. So all different sorts of stuff, right? And what actually shocked me is this current job that's been going for 2 days now, they're using on XM rig. So someone's rented my 5090 rig with a 7950X. Here's me thinking they're just gonna, you know, burn up the 5090 the whole time. And they're using the 7950X for 50 cents an hour. Sure, okay. Please continue. So that I thought was a little bit strange, but I'll take it. Hey, it's all profit. I guess maybe the 5090, you know, is the selling point of the rig. I don't quite understand what this person's doing, but whoever you are, if you're watching, I like you. Feel free to keep renting out my 7950X and ignoring the 5090. That would be perfect. You could just, in fact, you know, you could just keep using this forever, because at these current rates, my 5090 was about 3,000 USD it worked out to. So at this current rate, it would pay this thing off in 6 months, right? Now I'm sure this might change a little bit after the fact. You know, as soon as this video comes out, there might be a few more 5090s on there, but hey, I don't mind. If you guys can make some money out of this, please do. Now I wanted to show you guys very quickly just a bit of a comparison, right, on the prices that are being offered on Octaspace Marketplace compared to, you know, Salad and Clore. So you can see here, you know, 45 cents, 27 cents, 32 cents, 39 cents, you know, 25 cents. So the average price is around that 25-30 cent mark, which, you know, I think is really good. You'd be making money off your 4090 at that rate. So, you know, at 30 cents, you know, an hour, what's that work out to? $3, $6. It's about $7.50 or so a day that you'll be getting paid in rewards. And, you know, you look over at Clore, you know, there's that many of these 4090s on here that people are renting them out for $2.80 a day. I don't know how anyone's making any money at these prices. Maybe they've got free electricity, maybe they're renting. That could be a good, you know, a good answer for that. But, you know, it just does not compete. You know, and look at Salad as well. You know, the top 25% of earners are earning 21 cents an hour, which, look, when we all started creating content on this stuff, it seemed really good. But now that I've jumped onto Octaspace, 21 cents almost seems, you know, not worth it for a 4090 to me personally at my electric rate. I'm sure others would disagree, so let me know if you do. I know people love to disagree in the comments, so I just think, you know, Octaspace, it just seems so much better to me at the moment. The pricing's better, the rental system's better. You're on Linux, so it's not crashing constantly. It was easier to set up than Clore. It's more stable than Salad. So hey, so far, so good. Really happy with it. That is going to wrap it up, guys. Really nice. 16 bucks a day over the last 24 hours with this thing rented out. Nothing can compete with that. Here's the deal. If this thing continues to do this for another 2 to 3 weeks at these rates, I'm going to buy another 5090 and stick it on there. If I could be making 30 bucks a day off 2 GPUs with a few dollars electricity, that would be unbelievable. You know, that would be more than my AE2. That would be more than my S21 XP. Definitely more than all my home miners. But really great numbers. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know how you've gone with Octaspace or Salad or Clore. Interested to see and hear people's perspectives. Like the video if you liked the video. Hit that subscribe button for more crypto mining content. I'll see you in the next one. Peace! This video is brought to you by Crypto Miner Bros, a trusted global supplier of crypto mining hardware. They offer a wide selection of ASIC miners for all major coins and budgets, with free worldwide shipping, 24/7 customer support, and a 180-day warranty included with every purchase. Use code BEARMINER at checkout to get $70 off your order. Visit cryptominerbros.com and mine smarter with gear you can count on.